Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. DAPs. Share a little bit more about Leif Erikson Day for us, please.
Sure. If you'd like to discuss Leif Erikson's Day, please join us with the hashtag Geeks Corner on Twitter. It's hashtag Geeks Corner on Twitter, hashtag Leif Erikson's Day.
And if you're visiting Duluth, Minnesota, you can see his boat in the park.
Really?
Do you know that, Cameron?
No.
They have a replica.
So it's not the actual boat.
They have a replica of his boat.
Take me seriously. I am a professional. Fun story though.
Okay, Alexander.
I did just get this hat today. I put it on my head to transport it back into my home. We walked past a small child, Luke and I had forgotten entirely that I was wearing the hat. Kid stared at me the whole way and I'm like, why? Like, I wanted to comment. And then he got past and I'm like, oh yeah, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to Geeks Corner. Did you ever say who you were?
I'm Cameron.
Okay, there we go.
Leif
Let's
Erikson.
move right into tonight's news. Join us on Twitter if you'd like to join the conversation.
Or even if you don't.
Are you watching YouTube also? No? Okay.
Millions
Just
are.
join us on Twitter, and that's where we're going to reply to comments with the hashtag Geeks Corner. Starting things off this last week, Disneyland announced its 2019 and 2020 Disneyland Ambassador team, which is hard to say.
Same team.
Same
Not two
team.
different teams.
But I think
They're going to fight.
this is the team that's going to be representing Disneyland and all its cast members during the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
They're going to get to do some, I think, probably some of the coolest stuff.
Yeah, this is
since the
a good
60th
time.
or maybe the 50th before that.
Yeah.
And it was Rafa Barone and Justin Rapp, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Wow, without looking at notes. That's
No scope.
No scope. And two of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet, and it was fun to cover them. What do you think in general about the Disneyland Ambassador Program?
I think it is a very heavy weight to carry on your shoulders, and I think that they always do it with incredible grace and dignity, and it's also an honor to be picked from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of applicants, so I think they're cool.
I do agree with this assessment. The ambassadors are
Are you going to
wonderful
use
people.
like a British accent tonight, or
Okay, Leia.
that's what I was thinking of?
Yeah.
Subtle tease to a future article.
Subtle teas. There's teas hidden all around the set.
Subtlety.
Yes.
Is it Earl Grey?
Hot.
Make it so.
I also like the ambassador program. We've had a couple of very good ones for the last couple of years. And it seems like the next two that are coming, they're always good, but it seems like they're very human is a good way of putting it.
Charming.
Yeah.
Charming is a good way of, like,
Ridiculously full of personality.
I mean, they have to be polished because they are the Disneyland ambassadors, but it's really nice when you can see the spark of life in them that isn't just a robot, which is nice.
Yeah, which I actually think has happened for several years now,
Yes.
and it's been fun to get to know them. But I think we're in for some fun moments, especially just from the interview that we shot last week. There was just raw humanity shining through, which was really fun. Also, at Disneyland this week, we got to see the Scarolers.
So scary.
They scare because they care.
They do.
Favorite part of the Scarolers, actually favorite song first.
I put a spell on you.
Actually, explain what they are first for those who don't know.
The Scarolers are a group of the Happy Haunts who have left the Haunted Mansion to come sing in downtown Disney. They are a wonderful a cappella group that sings some of your favorite haunted songs. Is that good?
Yes.
Good
Now,
assessment.
your favorite.
I like the Villains medley. That's
That was
my
pretty.
favorite,
That
yes.
was really fun. I also like they did a piece this time where I don't remember which set that we saw, where it was all humming or like all there was
the
no
second
lyrics
set.
and it was
Horror
all
themes.
horror themes from old
Oh, cool.
movies, and it was all classic movies. I think I felt
there
like
was a couple newer ones dashed
newish,
in,
like
but, I mean,
newish being like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
So not super new, but really fun. They're every Wednesday and Sunday through the month. So you've got 3 more weeks to catch them. If not, you can see the videos that we posted on our YouTube. We got an article going up tomorrow. You can watch them there, or you can see Sundays with Daps last week because we put them there also.
we did.
This is a group called West Beat Sings, and they've also sang at Christmas time. We've seen them actually year-round.
They are
different times.
year-round, but they do Halloween and Christmas.
So my question following up with that is, what is your favorite costume that you've seen them do? Because they've done quite a few through.
I really liked the temporary Christmas ones from last year where they were the citizens of Buena Vista Street, and they all had really
Stories.
intricate stories of like, well, I was fixing the roof on Buena Vista Street, and then I came here to sing, and he was fixing my roof, and I thought it was very fun.
I like the caveman beatboxer.
That's fair.
I thought that was appropriate. That's really
fun.
good.
He was really good. They had a really good bass on Sunday too.
Yes, they did.
Like I really wanted to hear him sing The Grinch
Oh, yeah.
because as some of those low, like resonating notes, I was
That's
just like,
scary enough. Could you sing that, please?
Can you please sing The Grinch now? I know it's not Halloween or Christmas, but
No,
Halloween
it's
is
not Halloween.
You know
There-
what?
there
Jack
should be a movie
Skellington
about
messes it up anyway, so I think we could get away
Jack
with that.
Skellington messes everything up.
Okay, but like, there's a door to get to Halloween Town, and there's a door to get to Christmas Town,
And Easter.
and Easter, and many other holidays.
Yes. St.
However,
Patrick's Day.
he's capable both from Halloween Town and Christmas Town to get to the real mortal world, not using a door, via sled. And he's also capable of walking back to town from those locations.
They're just shortcuts.
Are they just shortcuts?
I kind of think so. I actually think you could do an article like you're doing for Star Wars with this.
Because like he just walked. There were doors, and so they're portals.
Or was he walking
He's
from the door?
Thinking with portals, I think is yep.
So you don't think he was just walking back from the door?
I mean, it's a movie about a skeleton, so I'm probably thinking about it too hard. But I mean, there's that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Mary Penguin said she thoroughly enjoyed the villain medley. Stephen Thomas is asking, will the new ambassadors be appearing on an episode of Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color? Probably not. The original one did, though, and I believe, is that correct?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Nope. No idea.
1965?
I'm pretty sure she was on it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was
Yeah.
in the first.
I could see them doing something with Club Mickey Mouse. That might be fun.
Yeah, that could be cool.
That'd be fun.
Or, I mean, with Galaxy's Edge, they could really end up anywhere. I just don't know if they're going to bring back a Wonderful World of Color.
Even in space.
Well, I was thinking...
This just in. NASA is sending
It's
the Disneyland
funny you say
ambassadors
that,
to
though,
space.
because...
It would be SpaceX, and you know it.
My
Yeah.
first thought was like, yeah, I could see them on the Star Wars show because of Galaxy's Edge. Speaking of space, talk about Sunday night.
We got to go see the Falcon 9 launch from SpaceX.
We got lucky.
And we saw it in California Adventure. It was really cool. It had a rocket go zoom, and
It went zoom so good.
and it was really unique, like because I don't know the lighting or something, but it was like a rainbow when it broke off and
It
actually
was
started going through the
beautiful.
atmosphere.
Did it remind anybody else of Ghost Galaxy?
Yeah.
Like, afterwards, when I was looking at the pictures, I was kind of like, it's kind of like Ghost Galaxy.
And then Dolores went,
except it was silent.
Two things. One, can I
That's gonna end
hear
up
the
in a-
noise of Dolores one more time, please? Fair enough.
Compilation video.
Two, does anyone else think Dolores
Definitely.
Van Cartier every single time they hear Dolores? That's the name of the character from Sister Act.
Yeah, you're right.
And every single time I just think about Dolores singing nun show tunes.
Yeah.
that's what she does on her free time.
All that extra time when she's not working Ghost Galaxy, she's teaching nuns how to sing in harmony?
Well, she has 8 other months of the year.
Or is she in witness protection from the mob? Which one was it? Which storyline are we going with?
Both.
Okay, great.
She has to
Definitely.
go to Ghost Galaxy to hide from the mob, which is a bad place to hide. But
So you know that one nun in Sister, way off topic, that one nun in Sister Act who like sang and hit those really high notes? That wasn't her singing, but the woman who did do the singing part for that was also in the choir, like right over her shoulder in all of the cuts. So the one actually singing was also in the movie, but didn't get a lot of credit.
oh,
So now you know, and knowing is half the battle.
Congratulations, Dolores. Bailey says, do you guys want the behind the scenes of me watching Geeks Corner right now?
yes.
Yep.
So I'm
Always.
watching you guys on a 47-inch TV, typing out tweets on my computer, listening to the notifications from my phone.
Future.
Also, my mother is in bed but told me to say hello.
Hi, Mom.
Hi. Pass on
My
our
mom's
hellos.
also
Yes.
here. My mom says hi to you and your mom. She's nodding.
Jason
so.
would like to know, in terms of Nightmare Before Christmas, are we talking about the theme park universe or film universe Holiday Town shortcuts between Holiday
I was
Towns?
gonna say, are they the same?
I don't know. They're the same? They're the same.
Are we talking like Disneyland Holiday Town?
Yeah.
That one served beer. Does
That's
That's
true.
hol-
That's
yeah.
confusing.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know.
For $1.
Speaking of Wonderful World of Color is similar to World of Disney, which has a new colorful sign on
Now
the
that's
front of
what
it.
we call a segue, kids.
And we checked it out on Sunday. What did you think of the first half of World of Disney?
Exposed Brick is really in this year, so
It's like super happening.
It feels a lot. I think the comment was made there that it feels a lot like Disney Springs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, cool direction. I think that they are taking the opportunity to differentiate the feel of that store versus the parks more, so that it is a different, more Urbania shopping experience rather than something tied directly with the theme park, but still has the same products. So they're giving a different experience available.
It's a lot easier to find stuff. I was noticing as we were wandering around. I was like, oh, there's that. You know, like it's very straightforward, I would say, whereas the other one you could get lost in sometimes. And we only have half of this to experience so far, but I was impressed at how easily you could navigate it and find it, and it felt like it was more open.
Yeah.
Is that your guys' observation as well? Looking forward to seeing the second half. What do you guys think of the castle effect on the wall?
With like the fireworks and stuff, I was impressed with it because I mean it's pretty simple as far as like the colors they're putting up, but they took the time to like match the reflections down on the little walkway and stuff. Neat. I like that.
Cool. The other thing that's happening is they've replaced restrooms with a ramp for the Tiki Room. What do we think of changes coming to the Tiki Room?
It's a lot harder to pee uphill.
Well, that was on Geeks Corner.
I'm not touching that one.
Please don't.
I don't have a problem with it because there's plenty of restrooms very, very, very nearby.
And there were restrooms for a restaurant that ended up never happening, but now that the restaurant's happening, the restrooms are too old to accommodate said restaurant.
Did that
So they're
restaurant
gonna go
never
across the
happen?
way.
Because there was an eatery back there.
It was different.
And then there was a meet and greet back there.
It was because Tiki Room was supposed to be a
The
restaurant.
restaurant was supposed to be in
That's literally what I just said. Why'd you have to say that?
because I was already going there, and you just beat me to it, so I kept going.
so I plowed ahead anyhow.
This is how it works. Nothing's changed.
But this
It's been
is
9
Geeks
years.
Corner.
I think the ramp's actually a really good thing. Anybody who's been up the old lift is very thankful for that ramp, I think. And,
Well, it expedites the process significantly.
right, and it's. I think it's just going to make life a whole lot easier for a lot of people. And now that there's mobile ordering for Dole Whips, like you can zip on into the Tiki Room with your Dole Whip.
That line
which
was
is amazing.
still pretty long when we were
Yeah.
over there. I'm wondering if it's just people not knowing that they can mobile order it, or
That was my question, is because we mobile ordered dinner too, and I'm still surprised that there's never like a congregating group near any of the mobile orders.
Well,
Was there?
with ours.
Oh, there was.
That's
for
right.
yours?
There was. There
We
was.
were
How many? 3?
No, there was a considerable
like,
amount of people.
They couldn't fit all of us waiting for mobile orders
Wow.
in Pacific
Yeah.
Wharf.
That's a first for me.
Yeah, no, like Pacific Wharf is a pretty poppin' place for mobile orders.
Huh.
Yeah, that was
And
really
that's where
the
you were
downside
poppin',
of it. Yeah.
so-
Yeah, I was dancing and a woman was trying to walk into the door behind me
No.
because there was no room.
He was like dancing, and I could see this lady just go,
She got the best show in the house.
excuse me. And he goes, don't mind me. I was just popping. And he tried to play off the awkwardness. It
Oh,
got
no.
worse.
I successfully played off the awkwardness. Thank you very much.
It got so much worse. It was amazing.
I was fine. She wasn't.
I was not. I never am, though. But anyway.
Then we
there's-
got soup.
And then we
there's a
got
happy ending.
soup and cake. But yeah, there was a lot of people.
Okay. Well, at that place, I'm curious if the other place, because we've seen them at Hungry Bear, there wasn't a line.
Yeah.
Well, the other ones are a little bit more conducive for that type of thing. I feel like
Galactic Grill, I've never seen a line.
Well, no. I've stood in lines at Galactic Grill.
Oh, okay.
You don't pick up your mobile orders.
I do sometimes. I sit close enough that I can see, and that's important.
I thought that statement changed. He's like, no, sometimes. Well,
he pulls a newspaper out of nowhere and is reading it before we leave. I don't know how
Hey.
he does it.
I've got glasses.
With a hidden newspaper compartment? What? Is it from like the...
Glasses and I don't read newspapers. I'm
Is it
Maybe you should.
like instantly like
then you don't have to pick
NFL
up your
teams that
mobile
don't
or-
exist anymore?
That's
He's just
what we're
reading
talking
about.
Yeah. All right. So Tiki's done that. The other news that came out this week is Jedi Training is saying goodbye at the beginning of November. I'm presuming this is just ahead of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and I would not be surprised if at some point in Florida there is a change there when they get closer in timeline to where we're at in the timeline of this new land opening.
we're in the bad timeline.
So my question is if you could come up with anything that would be a new experience for that demographic in Galaxy's Edge, because it's a different time now, and really, like, I don't even know if we have Padawans at this point in the.
I see where you're going.
Where would you go? Like, what would you do for that kind of experience?
So
You see where she's going, or where I was going with the question?
Yours,
you
not hers.
take
One down.
children, and there's a hidden.
No, we can't do that.
I know it's Halloween time, but the Hocus Pocus thing's going a little too far.
So there's a hidden temple in Batu. Okay. They have to find the hidden temple, and inside the temple is things they're afraid of, such as, you know, Darth Vader or Kylo Ren.
Or spiders.
Or spiders. Just to name some
Snakes.
things.
I hate snakes.
And then they have to fight them with the skills they have learned
Especially snakes named Reggie.
from. This coffee's still hot. I could throw it at you. You know that, right?
What's your idea?
That they have to go about the land as scamps seeking out the legendary scamp Tim. That's Timbatu.
So you're telling me you have no idea?
Oh no, actually, I have a good idea. This is
Okay,
just the
what's-
joke before the
okay.
good idea.
Oh, I love it.
I think the idea would be that, I mean, this is supposed to be kind of a almost lawless town. I'm thinking a very Oliver Twistian feel of bringing all the kids in and trying to teach them the ways of living on the streets of Batu, but giving them opportunity to have force sensitivity, maybe some pre-set up motions that very similar to what they do in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter for the
So
wand
there's
selection.
probably
Yeah.
something you could sell to.
Yeah, some kind of activation thing that allows
Yeah.
you to use the force in some aspect. I just think pulling from episode 8, the scamps towards the end of the film that are reenacting the story of Luke Skywalker,
Yeah.
and then the kid moving the broom, something to that effect.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I think that'd be very cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think you could do that scavenger hunt. Whatever. I think it would be cool if you could be developing the next generation of Jedi in some way, but not in the traditional, like, this way. I think it would be almost a more go out and discover it yourself, much as Rey has, and I think that would be a cooler direction to
You
go.
said
also.
both the next generation and discover in that description, and now my head hurts.
That's impressive.
This
We
show's
got
not
a
about
couple
Star Wars at
questions
all.
on Twitter.
We have
As
answers.
the weather cools down, what is your favorite cold weather food item at the parks?
Clam
Mike
chowder.
likes the Dole
Oh.
Whip still.
The hot cocoa they serve around Christmas.
I like coffee.
Well, what is your hot treat though?
Coffee.
Okay.
Did we have another question? You said we had multiple questions.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, good.
That's all that.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Well,
That's the answer.
cold or hot?
Actually, it's the question. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
So Jason wants to know, wait, so is the former Holidayland picnic area the converging point of Holidayland shortcuts between the theme parks and film universes?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Exactly. Moving into the world of TV shows, actually, and Star Wars, we'll continue with this track, I guess. I almost said track, and then it really would have hurt you, wouldn't it?
Yep.
They announced news this week about The Mandalorian, including releasing a picture and some of the directors who will be leading these different episodes when they come out on the Disney streaming service next year.
I was like, ooh, next week.
One, what'd you think of the picture? Two, which director were you most excited about? I will lead off saying I'm most excited to see Dave Filoni direct live action.
that's Cowboy Hat Man, right?
That is Cowboy Hat
That's
Man.
Cowboy
Yep.
Hat
I only
Man.
know him by his cowboy hat, and I agree with
He
that
would
decision.
be amazing on Geeks Corner.
So here's the thing about that man.
Cowboy
He
hats.
is the most. He's the fanboy that got to do that. Like, I mean, the other ones were big fans. Like, oh, we were fans leading up to. No, he is the fanboy that got his dream come true of
He's
putting
the
the scripts on there.
fanboy that George Lucas is like, here, come with
Come
me.
on, kid. But yeah,
Yeah.
it makes me happy that he is involved. Yes.
Is that the one that you're most
Oh, yeah.
excited about too? Okay.
I'm excited about Mandalorians.
Okay, talk more about that.
I like bounty hunters. I think they're cool.
So I heard an interesting thing
Thank you for
on.
listening.
I'm picking up with what you're saying. I heard an interesting theory that the bounty hunters that we know as Jango and Boba Fett weren't actually Mandalorian. They just had Mandalorian
Accents.
armor.
Did they like kill a Mandalorian for their armor?
Possibly.
Oh.
So that's
Because
an important point.
Mandalorians are actually pacifists. they're good. They're good at fighting, but their culture really is more of a.
Now, is that from Clone Wars or is that okay?
This is the new Star Wars since
Kelly's
Disney
a
owns.
Mandalorian?
Yes. So here's
Obviously.
my question about that. According to prequel 2, the one Jango's in, 2?
Yep.
2?
Yeah.
That's not the case, and he is a Mandalorian.
He does. There is that line, isn't there?
He is a Mandalorian.
You're right.
However, it is referenced that Mandalore people are more culture than lineage. So, in theory, Boba Fett might not be, despite having the lineage, because he wasn't actually raised in it. He may have been raised by his father, but in the same way, a Jedi is not a Jedi if they're not raised with Jedis.
Or are they just misspeaking because he's wearing the armor?
Yeah, or, I mean, as a side note, Boba Fett is the worst character in Star Wars.
So here's my question on Boba Fett. Do you think Dave Filoni is directing an episode of The Mandalorian, and he's also an executive producer on this TV show, to lead to becoming the director, whatever, of a future Boba Fett movie? Because this is his first chance getting to
How does that make you
direct a
feel?
live action film, and he's really invested a lot of time and energy in this culture and in these characters, and I had to wonder if you were to give him a live action movie, which people are speculating that give him a TV show first before give him a full movie. The obvious choice to me at this point is give him the Boba Fett movie.
And I would say the show argues against that. If they were truly going to be promoting a Mandalorian type character, I don't think they would give it as a TV show and then do a whole movie about it after. I think that's too much saturation.
So you think
of one
there's going to be
aspect.
no Boba Fett movie?
After them announcing the Mandalorian show, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think
Vaguely remember this.
I think they're more likely to do either expansions of the newer characters that we've announced, or maybe some more tertiary characters from the other films.
I would like to see a Sabine movie if you're going to do a Mandalorian movie, personally, but okay. I don't know. Do you have thoughts on that?
I'm just taking it all in.
Okay. What do you think of the picture?
I like it. Thank you for listening once again.
It's nice to see the armor a little bit more cleaned up. It's important to note that Boba Fett, who is a terrible bounty hunter, read the article on dapsmagic.com.
How does Cameron feel about Boba Fett?
It's mixed.
He hasn't really...
I think for his birthday, we should get him a cake that is Boba Fett's helmet.
I'll make your cake again, and it'll be...
To my point, Boba Fett's armor is pretty beat up, and Jango Fett's is very specialized. It's nice to see clean, more streamlined Mandalorian armor,
Which is more consistent with the TV show.
Yeah, and it's more in line with a culture rather than an individual.
Yeah.
And I think it's speaking to a larger universe story rather than just a character.
Well, I'm also curious if it's going to kind of go off in its own direction away from the Mandalorian culture too, just because they are saying he's kind of out in the fringes, and he's like, they're basically billing it as a space western.
Yeah.
Which
Firefly with helmets. Got it.
Got it.
sure, yeah, that's probably the right direction. So, are you excited about this TV show? I think Katie's kind of like, oh, I'll watch it. Is that?
That's how I am about everything.
But you're not like really into
When
it.
am I ever?
Star Wars, some movies.
Most times.
Some movies. I'm optimistic about it. I think, despite my obvious dislike of some characters, I think it's a good opportunity to explore a new face, despite us not taking.
So let's get really controversial. Are you more excited about this, or the Picard TV show that will be coming out on CBS All Access in a couple of years, or
More-
next year potentially?
More excited about The Mandalorian because there's less room for missteps.
Okay, but concept. Let's say if both are executed perfectly,
And then I would enjoy Picard more.
because that's kind of
he's
where
still-
I'm at. Is like there's a
He's
lot,
still still an amazing actor. Like
Yep.
that's
and he's
good.
part of the. Yeah, I think it'll be great. Do you want to answer that, Katie, or do you want to just stay out of the controversy?
I am not allowed to answer Star Trek questions. I would pass that along to my media representative, which is you.
Okay.
So
So what would you like to see more?
you're supposed to answer that question.
No, I'm letting you answer.
I'm not allowed to answer Star Trek questions. You know this.
Which one do you want more?
I don't know. Star Wars?
Okay.
The first duty of every Star Wars fan is to the truth, whether moral truth or implicit truth or cardinal truth. Otherwise, you're not worthy to wear that uniform.
All right, Indiana Jones. We're getting a slow trickle of information about the 5th movie. It appears there's an entire writing room backing Jonathan Kasdan as they're working on the script. George Lucas will not be involved at all, and they're going to be filming it. You never know. He comes out of
I'm
nowhere.
imagining him outside. Hey, guys, can I come in?
So from what I understand, it's his choice. I think he's working on that museum. But, and then they're going to be filming it instead of just the United States in front of green screens. They're going to go around the globe.
A wise decision.
A very wise decision. I think that's going to be a good choice. What is the one thing they have to do, and what is the one thing they can't do in this movie?
Have to do is easy. Giant, really stupid punching sound effects.
Okay,
That is
true.
an essential for an Indiana
With a
Jones
really,
movie.
really big, muscly guy beating up Indiana Jones, right? Yeah, you're right. Yep. And Katie, do you have one that they have to do?
They have to find things.
I want the airplane on the map thing.
Yeah, like we're traveling over
Yeah,
here.
which they're going to be in a newer airplane, obviously. I have to
sure
expect
hope
them
so.
to end up in Russia or something. But and one thing they can't do.
Ignore actual cultural relevance. I think the biggest flaw in 4, even though it did have a cultural base in it relating to, I think it was the Incan societies, the other films really emphasized the, at least cultural ties to the stuff. I mean, the third one especially, with it, with all the Judeo-Christian stuff in it, and even some of the Hindu references in 2. I think if they were to steep it in a relevant culture and make it very apparent, that has more significance to it.
As long as it doesn't turn into a national treasure.
No, I'd be okay with that.
We have to steal the Declaration of
National
Independence.
treasure with mysticism is Indiana Jones.
It is. I just wouldn't want it to be specifically national treasure. Like, I want him to go
Indiana
somewhere
Jones
else.
5,
National treasure. We're going to steal the Declaration
What
of
can they not
Independence
do?
with magic powers.
Not find things.
Okay.
I've
yeah.
seen like one
Okay.
Indiana Jones movie.
We're going to have to work on that. Finally, the Nutcracker and the Four Realms
know.
preview has come to Disney California Adventure. It had a preview for annual pass holders on Thursday night. Then everybody else can come on Friday, and it's there. And
Then the others.
I don't know.
You lesses. Come.
Yeah.
You there?
You guys haven't seen the preview yet. I haven't. I know people that have seen it that absolutely loved it. I saw it and was like, okay, that's nice. And I really walked away from it not wanting to see it more and not wanting to see it less. It just kind of was like, okay, this is the Nutcracker. What are your thoughts on this film? And part of it is the more I'm seeing about it, the more I'm seeing, like, I'm kind of like, am I seeing more? And so I'm kind of curious what the hook is going to be when we actually see the movie. But thoughts, go.
I feel like this will go to television next year at Christmas as an ABC special.
It's going to be a yearly classic.
And then I wouldn't say, I would say they'll do it for
tradition.
about 5 years, and then it will not be on television anymore.
So you're not super excited about this
I
film?
think it's going to be cute, but it's going to be safe, and it's going to be fairly unrecognizable.
I think it's going to be very pretty.
Oh yeah, it's going to be gorgeous, but I mean, it's not going to be Charlie Brown Christmas. Like there's not going to be
Or Elf.
a significance that people tie the holiday to.
Yeah.
There's a certain quirkiness that needs, which you mentioned. Elf is exactly why that one stuck around, despite being more modern. I don't see it being quirky. I see it being polished, which is to its detriment.
I have written approximately 27 articles on this movie, so I feel like I've seen it. The thing I am most excited about is Misty Copeland. I am incredibly excited because she is fantastic and she deserves to be in a feature film. And I'm very excited about the ballet aspect of it because I do appreciate dance, but I'm not entirely stoked about the storyline. I don't know.
I'm hoping we're surprised.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's one of those things where they're really holding off on the big reveals, and once you see it, you're like, oh, this is really good. But I'm still looking forward to Mary Poppins Returns
Same.
a whole lot more.
Yep.
And it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, because it's what is it? Is it Nutcracker and then Ralph and then Mary Poppins Returns? And
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see how all those
that is how it
do in the box office as we go through all these movies this fall. And there's Fantastic Beasts coming out then. There's a lot going on this fall.
There is.
Winter, yes.
Good
Anyway,
time to be
Cameron,
geek.
get us here.
You should go to thegeekscorner.com. That's thegeekscorner.com. We talk a lot, and sometimes we put it there.
Sometimes.
Or every time. But yes, that was good.
Yowza.
Keep going.
Go to dapsmagic.com, check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens, and subscribe to our mailing list and find out how to become a Daps Magic Maker.
And make sure to subscribe to this channel and find us on social media so that we can continue the conversation with you throughout the week.
Find us in Florida.
Find us in Florida. We will be there next week, Sunday through Sunday.
Woo!
And we'll have a unique show next week because we never know exactly what we're going to get when it's
We
supposed
might
to be
film in the rain.
raining and thundering and hurricaning and all that fun stuff. So that's all the time we have for you this week. So we will see you around the corner.
Bye!